So I'm here at Thy Barber with Frank Reimer, also known as Frank Glorified, in his new shop, which I have to say is one of the most eclectic, interesting, relaxing, traditional barbershops that I've been in London. And I'm just here to catch up with Frank after our last interview that he gave me when he didn't seem so happy working for somebody. So Frank, tell me how you came to this space and how you made what you did, created what you have.
Well, yeah, you're right. I wasn't very happy before, and it wasn't because of like people and things like that. It was just the fact that I knew that I wanted my own spot. You know, I felt a little bit like a trapped animal. Like I didn't have the kind of freedom that I really wanted to do my own thing and kind of be my own person. And now I've got that. So we're in a bit of a collaboration here. I'm a concession store within some really good friends of mine, concept venue, built around cafe racer lifestyle. So my friends Vicky and Dutch we started doing events together about kind of 3 years ago. It's their events, and I was invited along to do some pop-up barbershops. And the business was going so well just through doing those pop-ups once a year that we thought, well, what a great idea. We just need to kind of do this as a full collaboration. So when they decided to get the venue, which took about 2 years just to seal the lease, it was just evident that we were going to kind of, you know, brainstorm and come together. So it's not really, I wouldn't say it's a partnership. It's more of just a you know, a gentleman's bond. It's really nice, you know, just to have my own space that in the heart of London, really. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay, and talk me through your space, because like I said in the introduction, this is very and a very eclectic shop. Tell me kind of what's going on.
Yeah, there's a
gram in the background there with vinyl and...
Yeah, there's a bit of everything going on, isn't there, really? It's all just stuff I've been collecting. I'm a bit of a collector, like I can't help it. As soon as I see something in a shop, I've got to buy it. If it's anything to do with barbering or anything antique, if it's got a bit of dust on it, I'll look at it. So like I've just been, for the last kind of 3 or 4 years, gathering all this, I like to call it junk, in my flat, you know, and just really, the moment like I had my own spot, I was just like, well, this is all, you know, it's my identity, so it needs to go in my shop. You know, I want my customers to see like my certain flavours. You know, that's what I like. So yeah, I've got a bit of a radiogram because I like old music from the 50s and stuff. We've got old bullhorns on the wall, which are a present from a friend of mine. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here, gifts as well from, you know, when we were opening. Like my friend Matt Robinson gave me the bullhorns. He also gave me a really lovely candle, which has got some nice kind of religious background to it. I've got some paintings and some pictures. Like my friend Lewis made this artwork here. I've got some artwork there. Like, it's just like, it's nice to have like my friends' things in here as well, you know. So yeah, a bit of everything. But I think the other thing is as well, I'm trying to make it very barber friendly. I've worked in a lot of places and it's just like, it's quite awkward. You know, leaning across the client to kind of get your clippers and then like grabbing your hair dry from this side. You're constantly moving around, like everything's where you need it to be, being a barber. So like, you know, we use anti-fatigue mats, which, you know, the guys in the States use a lot, but we don't tend to use it here in the UK. So like things like that, you know, it just stops your back from hurting a little bit more. So I'm just trying to think about the people that are working in here, being myself and Paul. So yeah, bit of everything.
And tell me a little bit about the experience that you want to create for your client. I kind of know the answer to the question, but I want you to give me that thing. How do you want to make the shop different from any other barber shop in this area?
Well, I mean, a lot of barbershops in this area are doing a great job of what they do, but I find that the traditional kind of style of barbering is a little bit lost, and it's not because they're not trained in it, it's just because the modern day man probably isn't educated in the traditional sides of things. So they come in, they ask for certain things, and the barbers are doing a great job at giving them what they want. But you know, we kind of, I wouldn't say force it upon the client, but the moment they walk in, they know what to expect because they see the way we are in the shop. We dress traditionally. We've got, you know, traditional music on. It's like a real nice vintage vibe in the store, and we want people to realise that when they come in, they're going to get a classic haircut. They're going to get a traditional English wet shave, you know. So they get pampered a little bit, but everything's styled with that little bit of uniqueness. And I think clients know that when they're going to walk in because they've, you know, I mean, it's everything down to the smell of the shop. You know, you feel like you've just stepped back in time a little bit. Johnny Cash playing on the stereo. You've got the sandalwood scent in the background, you know, going through your nostrils, and it's just, you know, the smell of the peppermint from the towels. PBR in the fridge, you know, it's just classic, and you know, we enjoy that. and I think the clients enjoy it too. Well, at least I think they do anyway.
And you're talking about traditional barbershops. You've been doing quite a lot of work outside of the barbershop with the likes of Joff, who's also goes down the traditional road, and Schorem. Tell me about some of these events that you've done with these two men in particular.
Well, we did Rebellion Festival not too long ago. That was a lot of alcohol, but there was a lot of shared interest, and it was brilliant. I mean, those boys know how to work. They graft, they really, really do. And it's really funny because it was the first time I'd worked with Rob, and we've always spoken about each other's work. We've spoken to each other a lot over the internet and things like that. And then, we'd met before that, but that was the first time we really got to hang out. And it was really funny watching each other work because we were both actually quite amazed that we worked really similarly. I was doing some clip over comb techniques, and Rob was sitting there going, "Man, you cut quite like I do in that bit there." And then when he's cutting, I'm like, "Oh, I do that like that," And it's quite fun having a little bit of banter while we're cutting about, seeing the similarities in each other's work. It's quite nice to know that there are other people doing the things that I enjoy doing too, and I think they both enjoyed that as well. But yeah, it's quite nice. They're just nice guys. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to. We're all just good pals now. It's good.
And what plans have you got to work together in the future? Is there anything up and coming?
Yeah, I think we're going to do the same. We're going to do Rebellion Festival again next year, which is with Dr. Martins. We owe them everything really for that because they're the guys who hooked us up with the show. But I'm going over there next month just to party over to Holland. We've got no real plans to work together, but I guess there'll be some more guest spots coming up. I'll probably go and see the boys at Savilles soon. And I'm hoping that they'll come down and see the shop as well. I know Josh's been meaning to, but he's got such a busy schedule at the minute. But yeah, I'd like to get some of the guys down and guest. The only thing with this shop is because we're only 2 chairs and we offer appointments. Now, the only thing with appointments is obviously the people that want to come into the shop are normally upon request. So they'll request myself or they'll request Paul. But we do walk-ins on a Saturday. So that way it allows us to do some new clientele that we're not used to seeing. Or it just gives you that more, again, like we were going on about the traditional barbershop, it's quite hard to do that in London because everyone wants to know where they've got to be at a certain time. So to offer a walk-in during the week is quite difficult because no one wants to wait an hour for a haircut when they've got a business meeting in 20 minutes. So we only do it on a Saturday. So guest spots are going to be really good, I think, for that. We've got Luka coming up this weekend. I'm actually going to be away, so he's covering the chair on the Saturday, but I think it'll be really good to do a guest spot and maybe swap chairs. So someone comes down and I'll do a haircut, then the guest will do a haircut on this chair, and then Paul will do a haircut, then the guest can jump on that chair, because we all use pretty similar equipment anyway. All they need is their scissors, and I think that would be quite fun. With being 2 chairs, sometimes it's quite difficult to invite people down, but I think that's going to be the best way to work it while we're at 2 chairs.
Exactly, whilst you're at 2 chairs. And talking. You've obviously got an education program called the Art of Barbering. You've generated quite a lot of interest with other barbers wanting to learn your way of cutting. There's a lot of guys ranting and raving. What are you doing with the Art of Barbering? When is that making it?
So we will be doing some more this year. We're only going to look at, when we first started it, we were doing it kind of every month. For the kind of first 2 or 3 months, and then we realised that it might be a little bit too many. So we're probably going to do. I think we're going to do another one in March. Just thinking about that, so don't get your hopes up. But March, April, that's. I think we're going to do one more then, and then we might do one kind of like 2 or 3 months after that. So we need to get a few things in order. Obviously we've got a lot going on at the minute. I know Jody does a lot with his photo shoots going abroad, and he's just finished Men's Fashion Week doing loads for that. I've been setting up the shop, so we've both been quite tight with our schedules. But as soon as everything's calmed down, I'm sure we'll start promoting another one. I know we're talking about it, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled on the Instagrams for that. Yeah.
And have you got any plans for any products of your own, albeit wet products or apparels? Is there anything up the sleeve?
I'm thinking about a few t-shirts. I'm actually going to be collaborating with a good friend of mine. I'm not going to speak too much about it, but me and a good pal are talking about doing something later this year. Releasing some t-shirts and stuff hopefully in a few weeks to a month, maybe some pins, just some basic bits. But then hopefully later in the year it will extend on to some bigger things. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled about that again. You know, I can't speak too much about it because it's all just in the discussion stage.
Is there any plans for the future that you do want to discuss?
Yeah, I mean,
Closing.
we'd like to get a third chair in the shop,
Okay.
of course. I mean, you know, it's every barber's dream to have a few people like working in the shop, banter flying between everyone. I mean, look at the Schorem boys. I mean, you've got all those chairs, and you can't imagine them being quiet on a Friday afternoon. So, I mean, it'd be nice to kind of, you know, have that kind of feel in the shop. I mean, we're only a small space, so we can fit a third chair in here, but eventually, you know, there's a chance to maybe move the wall across, put, you know, a fourth, fifth chair in. I mean, ideally as well, I would like another flagship store eventually, you know, in a year or two. So it's all things that I'm looking into, but we've only just started, you know, I want to walk before I run.
I must say you're doing a fantastic job, so keep up the good work.
Thanks,
and
Steve.
I hope, you know, 6 months down the line you can extend the madness more out that way.
I think summer's gonna kick off because, you know, at the moment it's quite wet and we're in a motorcycle venue. So I mean, if anyone ever gets a chance to come down and see the place, I mean, it's absolutely huge. I mean, we're taking 4 railway arches in here. We've got a massive cafe restaurant. We've got a retail spot. We've got exhibition space for custom motorcycles. I mean, it really is something to come and spend an afternoon in, you know. But yeah, I'm sure in the summer it's going to really kick off in here because people are going to want to ride their bikes, you know.
Define what this is. Is it like a museum? What's the idea?
It's a lifestyle venue, you know.
Bikers.
Yeah, I mean, the demographic. I mean, we're aiming it towards motorcyclists and things, but it doesn't stop, you know, someone who doesn't. I mean, I don't actually ride. I love motorbikes, but I don't ride. More because I'm a bit of a pussy when it comes to stuff like that. I like 4 wheels of a car. I would like a motorbike after working here, but yeah, I don't actually ride. But I know a lot of my friends do, and I've seen a lot of the guys in here that come into the shop, and not everyone rides a motorbike, and yet they all really, really enjoy it. I've seen so many people in the chair because we face away from the mirrors, so straight out the doorway we're looking at. At the moment I'm looking at David Beckham's Bonneville. You know, that's actually David Beckham's Bonneville sitting in front of me. You know, and we've got custom Harleys, we've got Triumphs, you know, Ducatis, and it's definitely something to look at while you're getting your hair cut.
Okay, so someone who is into bikes could come here and be taken back by...
Totally. And then even if you're not into motorbikes, I think you'll just be amazed, like, you'll be just as amazed by some of the artwork that's going on in here.
Okay, well, as I pack up, I'm going to take a grand tour because I tend to come in and chat with you, Frank.
Have a look through that third archway if it's open, which it is, and have a look at some. I mean, they've got my favourite's a Purdy over there. It's probably 40 grand's worth of motorbike. Yeah.
Okay, Frank, thank you for giving me the time and giving me that interview.
That's all right.
You filled the gaps for a lot of people who have kind of just seen you on Instagram with the shots that you take on Instagram. So until next time, thank you.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.